Everything's making sense now, folks. It's all coming together.
No
now.
dollars but cents.
Right. See what I mean? This is Vegas. We're rolling.
I'm all in on this, folks.
Our very special, wonderful, awesome, beautiful, multi-talented.
Fantastic.
I'm speechless.
How do you select
the
your
magic
characters?
is just here.
Thank you.
Yeah, let Kenny go. Go ahead, sir.
What's that?
How do you select your characters? How did you select Marilyn Monroe to do?
Marilyn happened from dressing up as her for Halloween.
Oh, was that right?
I did it for Halloween, and then I was hosting, was emceeing a baby pageant with a friend of mine. We would dress as Raggedy Ann and Andy. We were very theatrical all through high school, and they put on a talent show for the kids. The parents did, and so I said, hey, I'll come on and do Marilyn. That was my first actual official sing as Marilyn, and it was for little pageant girls.
Wow.
From there, an agent found out, and suddenly I was doing it for an agency back in the Midwest where I grew up. And
wow.
Who'd have thought Marilyn would get work anywhere but Vegas or Hollywood? But she works everywhere.
Right? Oh, I'm not going to go on. Where over that.
Don't you dare.
I almost became a
I want to hear.
I almost became a Trambo head there for a minute.
Let me bring in this before, I don't want to forget this, because I saw you had mentioned Desert Productions.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And you said Ed Matthews.
Yeah.
But do you know who Eddie Matthews is? The father of Ed Matthews.
No.
Eddie Matthews was a national promotion man for United Artists Records.
Wow, really?
When I was an artist, my first record in 1960-61.
Yes.
Eddie was a national promotion guy. When I left United Artists, I went to Laurie Records. I had a record called Heart. Eddie Matthews, the father, was responsible for me having my biggest chart record because he knows the story, but Wayne Newton had an exclusive with Bobby Darin to produce his first single on Capitol Records. I found the demo of the song. I took it to Laurie. We got it out in a week. And Eddie Matthews was the guy who said, because we called Screen Gems. You got to get a license. They were the publishers. So we called and they said, well, you can't do that. Wayne Newton's going to do it. Through Bobby Darin's producing his first date. Well, I nearly passed out. I said, oh, man. So Eddie Matthews comes and says, and Eddie Matthews is about the same height as our man over here, Joe James.
He was very tall in stature.
Very giant. They call him the Jolly Green Giant. So anyway,
it runs in the family, I think.
It does. So he comes in and he says, if there's a lead sheet in Washington, a copyright, anybody can record it. Sure enough, there was a copy. It was there. We recorded it. It hit top 30. Blah blah blah. I came out here my first year. I moved here. Who do I run into but Eddie Matthews?
Wow.
After not seeing him in 40 years.
Amazing.
Wow.
That's what I saw. Is this the same Desert? Because I remember Desert Production. And I met his son, and Eddie was there. I hadn't seen him in 40 years.
And they're still,
but
he's carrying on the family. He's still doing the shows.
Great guy.
That's so
Great
cool.
guy. So
Yeah.
see the things we have in common?
It's amazing. It's a small world
Small
in
world,
Vegas.
isn't it?
It is a small world in
It
Vegas.
is.
Now, was Marilyn your first person?
Marilyn was my first. And oddly enough, I really left it behind. I had some weird experiences. A lot of people tell me not to talk about this, but go figure. Weird experience in Hollywood. It made me quit being a performer for about a 10-year period.
Really?
What made you quit?
I know, and this is not something I've ever probably said on the air. So this is
there. You are, folks.
Wait a minute, what made
this
you
is
quit?
what we do.
I'm about to tell you.
Oh,
Great
say, what did I miss? Go ahead.
This is great. Would you be quiet?
I did This is the dark side of the business, sadly. I ended up with a stalker very quickly. Within the first, I performed and I did Maryland, and I was like 22. I was really young. And I got...
Oh, it must have been yesterday.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I must have truly been channeling something from Maryland. It really felt overwhelming because I didn't have as much of a sense of self at that time, and I gave off some type of energy that people just gravitated towards, like, wildfire.
I feel
it was just crazy.
I know.
I got mobbed, and it was at a show, and they'd never had that happen before. There was no security. All the people that ever had performed, nothing like that ever happened. My clothes got torn. I had to be rushed to safety. It was a horrifying experience. I mean, I actually had nightmares. It's scary to have all those people rushing you. If you've never had it happen, you can't even imagine.
Well, I've had it happen
like.
with women, but I wasn't fighting them off.
I was just going to say the same
But it
thing.
wasn't a good kind of like, yeah, come on, baby. It was like,
please rip my clothes off. I don't care. Here you go. Or I'll do it for you.
Girl stole my grandfather's watch off my arm in Canada.
Oh, from that. See, that's it. It
Stole
gets
my
out of
watch.
control, and suddenly
yeah.
they're like just pulling it. I think they were like soldiers having a flashback or something. It was that real, but it was a
Well, you feel like
horrifying-
it's a mob attack.
Right
I'm
out of the
sure.
gate for me. It was
Oh
like,
my God.
okay, I can do
That
other
scared
things.
the hell out of
I
you,
went
right?
behind the scenes. I'm like, I got pigeonholed suddenly. Hey, we want you to be like the mistress in this show, and I felt like immediately this persona of Marilyn just like consumed me, and then I have a stalker, and I get a heavy breather, and it's all within like a couple weeks.
Oh, you got my message?
I was just done. Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about that later. All these years, buddy. No.
Heavy breather.
Well, hey, you got to start somewhere. I couldn't find the words.
That was back when our phone numbers were still listed in the phone book, and you didn't think about it. I'm becoming an entertainer, and I'm like, now I've got to hide out, and now I live in a fortress with a gate, and you can't drive in it.
Well,
but
right.
this is after years of knowing to do this. I didn't at first. I just quit.
Right. For how long did you quit now?
Over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
I only came back to this to kind of... I wanted to be talent again. I think once you
Right.
have that bug...
I agree.
I've been a successful makeup artist, great photography career, and as an artist, my paintings have sold really well, but I left this behind a long time ago, and I had to bring it all back full circle, and you make a whole me, and leaving that part of me behind wasn't okay. So now I'm having fun with it. I just played a Goomba's girlfriend at the Italian American Club 2 days ago. And,
Right. Oh, my gosh.
I'm embracing the sexy while I can,
Oh, I can see that.
Did you hear that? Well, I can.
I'd like
I'm going to strangle you for that.
I'd like to break some sexy right now.
I played Melania Trump with the
Okay.
Donald, so we're doing some current stuff. I mean, all
what
kinds
is-
of just having fun with it.
No, because it's just so awesome. I mean, you do voiceovers, you're an actress, you're an MC, you do character acting, you're a spokesperson, all kinds of stuff.
I'm
You're
really
like all of us. I mean,
just an artist,
anything we can do to be in the business. Well, that's what an artist
It's
does.
true.
Anything you
That's
can
it.
do
It's just reinventing
to
yourself.
be a part of the
and-
business.
Yeah.
Speaking of her photography, I wanted to ask you. 'cause
Yeah,
I
let's
said,
talk about that.
When you said you see a person and you view them and you do a whole thing of how you decide with the makeup and the picture.
Right.
What do you consider when you're going to shoot somebody?
Well,
What do you consider?
now are you talking about like when I become? Because I know we left off talking about becoming a character.
No, this is
and-
when you're
when I'm
photography
photographing
part.
somebody.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I know.
he
We'll
switched
touch
it
on that
on.
later.
Yeah.
When I'm photographing someone, I come from a portrait painting background. I mean, I'm a true artist. A painting is all light and shadow manipulation. So
Sure.
when I photograph someone, it's my job to bring out their character and their essence, and any photographer should do that. It's so much more about seeing that in you, but drawing something out of you and creating an energy where you're comfortable to give to the camera. That's what good photography is all about, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just not about taking a picture.
Absolutely not.
Did you ever say, well, you want to see my etchings?
But you got to have a photographer who also understands the right lens, or you look at those photos and suddenly your nose looks bigger.
Well, and
nobody
also,
wants that.
Because I do, my own stuff. I took photography in college, and I did videography, and I've been on, certainly shot around the Strip B units, A units, different stuff. But when you're doing that and capturing, even a scene or somebody, you see the simplest things are the most attractive.
Yeah, that's right.
When you try to complicate, there's a tip, folks, and you overanalyze and you try to add too much or make too much of things, you can lose that essence of just the natural simplicity of it all.
Never
and you always want to make that important.
perfect anything.
Exactly, because you can't get any better or perfect than this, ladies and gentlemen. We've proven that today again. Thank you for being on with us today.
I love you guys.
Jennifer,
Oh, yeah, it's
I think
over
we got-
already.
we love
See how
you.
it is?
We've got some great stuff coming up again. We're gonna have Mickey back. I think we got some special things we're gonna work with her on.
Have some fun.
And have some fun. And God, I love the way she says that.
Whoa!
We want to thank you for
heard
being with us today. Have a great weekend. Remember, go beyond the cloud
And reach for the stars. Thank you very much.
Arrivederci, boy.
That's what they say in Texas. Reeve damn dirty, boy.